Yo, what's up, everybody? And welcome back to the TSF Entertainment channel. Got the crew in the building tonight. We got Miss Really BTV in the house. We got Jack of Jordans.
What's good?
We got our brother in arms, the Wise Soul. What's up?
Yo,
Welcome to the
yo, what
channel.
up? What up?
And tonight we're here to talk about Bel-Air, season 1, episode 7, Payback sub. What y'all think about the episode?
If I'm being honest, it was pretty predictable, and I feel like it was. I mean, you need that. You need the excitement, and then you need sort of like a down week. I feel like it was sort of a chill week, but it's setting up for the like you definitely sort of set up for the rest of the season. But it was a chill week. It wasn't a
Yeah,
whole lot.
yeah, I think so too. And it's kind of crazy because a lot of the things we talked about earlier this week when we was catching up, a lot of the things that we talked about earlier this week when we were catching up actually happened in this episode. So we were like, "Yo, what's up?" So I
What
know
it
we will.
do?
What's up, Juggernaut?
I'm in the building, man. In the building. A little sore, but I'm in the building, man.
What's up? What's good? What's good? All right, Wise, what you think about the episode?
Um, it was kind of slow. It was
Yeah,
for an episode. I thought they was about to turn up in the episode. It was kind of slow, but it wasn't a bad episode. It's we got a little bit more details, but yeah, we're gonna get into it. There's some
we gonna
there's some
definitely
stuff.
get to it.
Yeah.
All right, Marvin, what you think about the episode?
Man, a lot to take in. I mean,
Definitely.
I can say, like I just sent in the text, man. Carlton actually know what it. He know where he stand at with his crowd now. His right hand man. He pretty much know where he stand at. Um, Yeah, man, this one was kind of crazy. It had a little bit more excitement, and it was a little slow though. But um, yeah, it was a good one. It was decent.
All right, saving the best for last. Jack of Joys, what you think, bro?
Um, I agree. It was a little slow, but I also think it was like some real key details that was
Facts.
in this episode. To kind of build more to other episodes. A lot of it was just filler, like really be like. I mean, I'm sorry, like every review said, a lot of it was, a lot of the episode was filler. But I also think that there was some key points within this episode. We definitely gonna dive into it, and highlight some of those key points.
Well, take us through it then, D.
All right, so we open it up with we see Uncle Phil having pretty much a sit down with Will, and we see Fred, who's Lisa's dad, is talking to Lisa. So now since they're competitors, running a political campaign, they're pretty much saying like,
You
you
hit.
want to be mindful of, what you do around the banks, and Will, you need to watch out with what you're saying, to Lisa, because you might feel as though you go up and up to her, but once you let go that what happened to Philly thing out of the box and she tell her dad, that's gonna be a whole nother can of worms for this campaign. So I think it was kind of like be careful because you might be destroyed to break the camel's back to interrupt my campaign. What y'all think about that?
Yeah, I think that kind of makes sense. I also feel as though it was painting that picture of now like they can potentially be enemies. You know what I'm saying? Like I mean, he was just like fall back from her. Maybe he felt like she may try to harm him in a way. And then he actually made the statement to Will about, you might have to lie to somebody that you care about. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I mean, it's one of them things where you're gonna have to choose one way or another.
Every review choose violence. That's what
All the
she chose.
time. Every
Jesus
every
Choose
Christ.
violence.
time.
You choose violence if you
He
gave her a
always
bouquet of flowers. If you gave her a bouquet of
What's
flowers,
good?
she would
What's
choose
good,
violence.
Xavier?
Right.
What's good, man?
he another
Jesus,
one.
what's up,
Xavier
Xavier?
too. They
You
always choose
choose
violence.
violence. Yep.
Man.
Really, B, you look like you were getting ready to say something. What was your thoughts?
No, I'm just saying I agree. Like the conversations you again. I feel like everything. I agree with the episode was slow. Like I said, it was just a lull, but I feel like everything that happened in this episode is setting us up for the final. Well, we have 3 more episodes of the season. Is it 10 episodes altogether? Do we ever
It's
find
10.
out? All
Yeah,
right,
it's
so
10.
this was episode 7, so we only have 3. We know there's a season 2, so there's gonna definitely probably be a cliffhanger to take us into season 2. But everything that happened, so those opening scenes, we saw where that was going. It's a whole Romeo and Juliet thing that they're building up to, and so that the conversations had to be had, you know, taking us into what's gonna happen next.
What about you, Wise?
It
Right, her
was
name's
it
Beulah.
was
We're gonna call her
it was
Beulah.
weird because he had the little conversation with Will, and he planted the seed. He was like letting him know sometimes you gotta lie to him. Like the people you love, sometimes you gotta lie. He planted that seed, and you could see Will had that thought and that look in his face, like he don't really want to do it. He don't really want to do that. But as we get into the episode, it
But he
comes
did
back
it.
up, and
Yeah,
thankfully
and
Uncle Phil
he
had
did.
that conversation.
It was actually some foreshadowing too, because basically he was telling Will that it was okay to lie to someone you love, and he had to pretty much do the same thing with Vivian.
Right.
A little foreshadowing as well. All right. So for
What's
me,
Hey, but that's like
crazy
real
is
life though.
yeah.
Could he
So
be
for
talking
Sometimes
about
you got to lie to him though.
Could he have been talking about the bank? You think he was talking about the bank account situation?
yes,
What you mentioned in foreshadowing, you think that was about the whole bank account situation?
yes,
Possibly.
yes,
I ain't never look
undoubtedly.
at it like that. I thought it was more so if she asks you because Fred's sneaky, would try to, you know what I'm saying? Like even when he asked her, he was like, "So do you know why why he came from Philly? Whatever." Y'all never had that conversation. So it was more so like he was trying to
Dig for
bait
dirt.
her. I
He
feel,
was digging for dirt,
to
exactly.
maybe
Yeah,
spilling
he was
something
looking
that she may
he was
possibly
fishing.
knew to dig us some
Yup.
dirt. So you know how they do those campaigns where they slam their opponent. So I felt like that's what maybe possibly that he was trying to get some information on, because when
It's
you
a
dealing with
double,
politics, you just want to get dirty. You got to get dirty.
it's a double-sided coin to it as well.
Mm-hmm.
Because not only that, because they have to protect both of their campaigns. He's telling his daughter, like, listen, it's not a good look for you to be hanging out with the banks. And
Yeah.
I'm your dad and the chief of police, and I'm running for district attorney as well. That's gonna automatically make people ask questions. Well, your daughter's real close with your running mate, or not your running mate, but the competition. On top of that, it's the reason why it's a double-sided coin, because he's also the ops. He's also the
Mm-hmm.
ops.
Right.
So that's something that he doesn't need to know about that situation, because he can create other trouble beyond the campaign. He can create other trouble for the Banks family when he gets knowledge of what Phil did for Will.
Yeah, but they in a sense, if you go back to the last episode, I think Will and Vivian already have some ammunition on Fred, because they found out that Angela was there before Gail's death.
But see, Phil doesn't know that yet. They haven't gotten to a point where they discussed that evening, because he wasn't in that scene. That was between. Well, he kind of walked up on the tail end of it. But he doesn't know that part yet. So he doesn't know that he actually has a silver bullet that he can actually use against him.
Right. But
And
then
then,
on
of course,
the other
also,
side of the fence,
I think
Fred got one too, because I mean, look at Hilary's recent hiccup. You know what I'm saying? He could try to play that. He could. She's an adult, but he could try to play that. Slant, throw a little dirt. Oh, if he for the people, he's a family person. Look at this. Is this how you would want your daughter out here? Whatever. So he can play that card, but I mean, it's not as worse as the ammunition Phil has right now. You know what I'm saying? You was out here cheating on your wife before she died, bruh.
Yeah, I think both of them are going to hesitate to use the ammunition that they have, because it involves the kids. You know what I mean? Like, they don't want to hurt Lisa with the information about her dad cheating on their mom and bringing in the kid. I think I'm not saying they won't do it. I ain't saying it because I think Fred will pull the trigger before Phil will. But
Exactly.
and I think in the end both of them are going to get dirty. Honestly, I think both of them are going to do it in the end. But both of them sort of have that. But it's not about the other one. It's about their kids. Right. And I think that's technically the information on Phil is about him, but it's going to hurt Lisa.
So really, B, what you saying that? Do you think that this is going to come out being, do you think that this kind of, we have this information, do you think that's going to come out in a manner of like being spiteful or, like one of those unintentional anger type things when it's said the kids are going to be there and then Lisa find out about her dad, pre her mom passing? Do you think that's how that's gonna come out in a sense of I'm
gonna tell you exactly how I think it's gonna come out. This is exactly how I think it's gonna come out. I think Phil is gonna get desperate because he's down in his money funny. I think he's gonna start getting down in the polls, and I don't think it's gonna be him. I think it's gonna be his campaign manager. Yep. Phil is gonna let it slip or tell him or whatever was going on. And the campaign manager is going to do it because he's shiesty. I don't think Phil is going to do it, but it's going to get out and it's going to come from him. But I think it's going to come from the campaign manager.
I agree.
That's just how I feel about it. That's what I think.
We can't make Fred disappear. He the 12, man. Joffrey, Gia be in jail.
I don't know about that.
9 days? No, he won't. Nowadays, no, he won't.
Trying to get one off.
No, he won't.
They be trying to
feel money way too long.
Right.
The crazy thing is, like right after they had this conversation about staying away from each other, you see them sneaking off. It looked like they in the school, they're prepared for practice or whatever, quote unquote, prepared for practice. They sneaking off and doing a little sneaky link.
And you can tell that their first time, like that's their thing.
That's what I said too. I thought it inferred that they've been doing this since the previous episode.
Right. This is what they've been doing.
Yeah, this is what they've been doing.
But I think one of the things that I got out of this conversation, is that they say they need to inform Carlton. They need to put Carlton up on game about what they're doing because they like, well, he don't deserve to find out a different way. So he needs to hear from one of us, which is noble. Crazy, because Carlton crazy, but noble. But it's like
I mean, you can call it noble, but I mean, for the whole situation is
it's
a violation, cousin,
bro. It's a violation of the bro code, man.
That's G code right
Phil,
there.
Will violated bro code, like he really did.
And we said that. We said that too. We said that on what Tuesday, Wednesday.
Yeah.
We said that. Yeah, we said that. But at the same time, I kind of respect the fact that he was looking for the right opportunity and the right time to tell him.
Yeah.
Because he saw, I think he was going to tell him until he found out that Carlton was having a shitty day, and Carlton was having a real messed up day.
Right.
So he's I'm not going to add. I'm not going to add to his troubles right now. But I'll tell him later. But what you should have did was you should have pulled back up off that situation until you had an opportunity to talk to him about it. Because now y'all going hard, and he end up what y'all didn't want to happen end up happening.
Right. Facts. Yeah.
So then we see Hilary back at the influencer house. And she finds out through Monica that Kylo has pretty much tapped into the cloud or everything he has access to, as far as what the recording is in the cloud, that he didn't release a PG-13 sex tape for her cooking.
He didn't leak.
It's like you can't cry about what don't happen. You record the content. So
and then
put it out there.
Gave it a name too.
She made sense because she was like, well, you did record the stuff with the lingerie, though.
And did you not read the fine print? Did you not know that whatever you record in the house belong like it's that intellectual property? Yeah, you might have recorded it and it's quote unquote yours, But that's the whole thing of being in this influencer house. So did you not read the fine print on your contract? Because then you would have known it's
Right.
not yours.
Yeah, it's intellectual property. You're right. And the crazy part
Definitely.
about it is, Abby, while you want Jeffrey to take out Fred, I need Jeffrey to take out Kylo.
Right.
Yeah, I don't like that dude.
I don't like him
I don't
either.
like Kylo either.
The man
But I
doing
don't
his
like
job, but I don't like him. I don't like him.
You know, I
But
just
you
want him
see
to go upstairs and just smother Carlton with a pillow or something. But that's neither here nor there either.
Wow.
But
Wow.
But you see that she
All
was
right.
bothered.
All right. Yeah.
She was bothered. She was bothered by the fact that he released the content without her consent. But goes back to what you were saying, Crystal. Oh well, your problem because you record the content is in the cloud. You should have read the fine print. You should have asked these questions off top. But you could also see where she was kind of ruminating on the fact that is this how it's going to be all the time? So she's kind of struggling with that. Should I stay? Should I go? Type thing. What's in her mind is probably telling her I need to bounce. But what's in her heart is like we were saying on Tuesday. She gonna do whatever she can to be successful and not have to go back home and hear
Right.
that I told you so from her mom. So in this case, I'm gonna try to figure out a way to deal with it. But yet still, you end up running to your parents for help anyway.
But
Yeah,
I think she was all about that at first.
I thought
Yeah.
it was interesting that she even talked to her mom about it.
Yeah, daddy's little
I did too.
But see, Kylo, with him, it's all about the numbers, though, right?
Yeah,
Like
he's
for
doing
him, it's just him doing his job. Like it's all
Yeah.
about the numbers. And,
Yeah.
like he saw that, and he just was like, rubbing his hands like Birdman, like
The
Yeah.
oh,
algorithm
It
went
wasn't
real
personal.
wild.
It wasn't
Good.
personal at all.
Yeah.
because about to direct traffic to to everything that these influencers, quote unquote, was about. You want to get that social media traffic. So
But I feel like it don't stop there. I feel like it don't stop there. In this respect, we can respect the fact that he's doing what he needs to do is running the influencer house and making sure everyone that's a part of the influencer's house is contributing, putting content out and everything. So I can understand that from a business standpoint. But when Monica made that comment about I don't like some of the things he do either, but I have to get with the program, that tells me that he's possibly going to do some other ish and take it a little further.
Or already have.
Take it a little bit further than their comfort zone is, but it's like you say, D, is about the numbers. He want to run them numbers up.
Right. It's a ends justifies the means kind of mentality. So she's
Yep.
like, listen, I don't like the stuff that he does either, but it got me a contract with Oprah. You know
It
what
got
I'm
me
saying?
put on. Yeah, it got me put on.
yeah, Abby, he did turn it into like a thought box.
He thought of her
Food
out.
Network, American Next
Yeah,
Top
he
Shelf or
thought
something.
of
Chef
her
or
out.
something.
Right, because the video, I don't think if the video was that bad. It was the way he edited the video that made it really bad.
Like it was a soft
That's what made it really bad.
Yeah,
I'm
right.
telling
Like,
you,
I mean,
was
her cooking in lingerie. Honestly, it's a little risque, but it's not bad. But it was the way he
It wasn't
spliced
pornographic.
together
It wasn't
with the whipped
pornographic.
cream, and it was a lot.
he made it a
lot.
PG-13 porn.
And then he gave her a new moniker. What is it, the Tasty Chef?
Sexy chef or something.
Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah, sexy.
But again,
Yeah,
though,
it
see,
is.
she wasn't
It was the thirsty
when she
stuff,
when she
wasn't it?
went into all that, she was about it. She was like, you know what, I don't feel right about this. Like, she started feeling a certain kind of way. After talking to moms, she kind of came back and was like, you know what, this probably not the move. But then
If
as
you don't
we
want
gonna get
nobody
into
seeing,
it,
don't ever record it.
right? Then
Thirsty
it started
chef. That's what
changing.
they called it, a thirsty chef.
Thirsty Chef.
Thirsty Chef, that's what it is.
Oh, I don't like
That's what
that
it is.
name.
Yeah.
If
Oh, I thought
if
it
you
was
don't want
Tasty
nobody to
Chef.
see it, don't
Okay,
record
it's
it.
the Thirsty
That's
Chef.
rule of thumb.
Yeah, I don't like that name. Thirsty chef.
Thirsty Chef.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
thirsty stuff. Yeah.
Picture first.
Then you see Aunt Vibe, Aunt Viv, I keep going Aunt Viv and Uncle Phil and the campaign manager. I think his name was Steve. The campaign manager, Steve. They sitting in the office and they chopping it up, about campaign funds. So Vivian, she looking over the numbers and she like, this is really expensive. How much more money we have to kick out. She hit Steve like, Steve, you putting in on this shit? Like what we doing here? So when it came down to it, was all said and done.
Real quick, he was like,
Yeah, he had that lean back real quick.
yeah.
He had to push
he
back.
was like, how much money you putting up? And he got real quiet.
Right.
That just shows you right there, Uncle Phil money, long boy. He got that long money.
But when it was all said and done, Steve, who can't keep his mouth shut, it was like, so do you want me to withdraw? Do you want me to have to return the money? I know that's right, Abby. And she like, oh, so you already went ahead and made the investment on this, huh?
And my thing is, he did that on purpose, because why would you say, oh, so I need to transfer the money back? She's clearly not comfortable with this, and she said give her a minute. There's no way in the world that you were supposed to let it slip that the money ain't already been transferred. Like, come on, stop playing.
Phil should never had a conversation with his campaign manager being there. That was a conversation he should have had with Vivian in private. And then that could have avoided that whole situation.
Hold up. Real life, though. We know how those meetings go.
We control the narrative better.
We don't want to be in those meetings by ourselves when we talking about finances. We don't want to do that. Exactly.
He probably was like,
you don't, but you can control.
She gonna say no with you here.
All right. Hey, I bought another pair of shoes,
control it a little
right?
bit better, though.
And we know y'all had those conversations often. I got them shoes, right?
Yeah, hey, see that bill.
Unfortunately enough, my wife not gonna say that.
There you go.
My wife's gonna be like, where my pair at? She gonna be like, where my pair at? Right?
I always get there. If you come in here one more time with something without me, all right, got you.
I used to have those problems not anymore.
But overall, what y'all think about that scene?
Well, that's what, for me, it kind of goes, is there a deeper rooted issue here regarding the money? Because you can kind of infer that it's his money, but they're a unit of one. And I know everyone has different things and different views on marriages and sharing finances, or my money's your money's mine type thing. Everyone's marriage has their own rules where the topic of money comes in. But going later on down into the episode where, she's kind of in a place where she's not really contributing financially to the marriage, where, she's not bringing in the kind of money he's bringing in. So, she's a little bit more concerned about how frivolously he can spend it, and, not discussing that with her. So I kind of felt where she was coming from on that. But at the end of the day, if he's still earning and if he's still contributing financially to the household, why are you upset about what he chooses to do with his part of the money?
I'm gonna comment on that. I'm gonna let y'all go, but I'm gonna comment on it.
Right. It's not his part of the money. It's our money. We're married. It's our money.
Exactly.
That's how it should be, right?
I don't disagree.
And again, everybody does things differently in marriages, but the fact that he was even talking to her about it tells me that the way their marriage is set up is that they talk about those kinds of things before it's done. I mean, we ain't talking about a pair of shoes, we ain't talking about a new purse, we talking about probably hundreds of thousands of dollars,
or if not a couple
out of their account,
or if not a couple million.
Yeah,
right. I mean, or a couple of mil. So that's a different. You know what I'm saying? Like,
it's not about the money.
It's the principle.
It's principle. Yeah,
it's the trust.
It's principle.
It's the trust. It's not about the money at all.
And it is about the trust. Yeah, because
it's about the trust. It could have been a million.
Right, because like she said, if I had said no, would it have made a difference? Like that's she's a professor.
One of the coldest lines of the night.
Hold on. Listen, she's a professor, you guys. But let me be clear, as someone who's in education, even a professor at a prestigious college, even a tenured professor, still ain't touching what Phil is bringing in as a lawyer winning the type of cases that they said he went in, running a law firm. Like, the money is different. She probably making good money, okay? She making 6 figures, but he making 7. Apples and oranges.
See, I think it goes back to kind of what y'all was saying early, how we was talking about Phil gonna end up being desperate. Like, you could tell, like, since he already did it, like we just talked about, they had an established communication, pattern in the past, if they made some kind of transaction this size, they talked about it. Now he making moves because he know the campaign is kind of fluttering right now. It's how far is that desperate, sense and feeling gonna go? Like as far as moves that are made, down the line in the next few episodes or however long this this
Yeah.
campaign part goes on. And with Dwayne Martin's character, the campaign manager, like you see it, you see the shade, like you see
It's
this
like
dude
by
is
any means
I'm about to
necessary
win.
at
I'm about to
some
exactly.
win.
point.
I'm
Right.
about to
And
win.
right. And I mean, let's see, like honestly, that's what the campaign manager's job is to win the damn
That's
Right.
right.
campaign. Now there's
Yep.
different ways you could do it. You could do it on the up and up, and you could try to keep it like here, or you can like you just said, the any means necessary way of doing it. And we already see that his character is an any means necessary mentality. So
Yep.
you already see the writing on the wall.
And I totally agree with you, Wise. I think we're going to see Uncle Phil continue to be desperate to win this. And, this is not one of those situations where money can fix this. Money ain't going to win you this election. I mean, you can put all the millions and all the money you have into this campaign. At the end of the day, if you don't garner those votes, you don't get those votes. So I think Vivian is probably concerned about just how far are you going to go? How far are you going to take this before you say enough is enough?
Right. And
Right.
remember, this is personal now. It's honestly, it's beyond him winning. This is
Yeah,
personal.
it's personal now.
So
It's a dick swinging contest now.
yeah, absolutely.
Fred is not going to beat me.
Uncle
Yeah.
And
Phil was
I'm money
Uncle
longer
Phil
than
was
his.
swinging it a couple of
And I'm
times.
money
this
longer
episode.
than his, so he's not going to best me. So yeah, it's definitely a competition now at this point.
So then you
Yeah,
see
Uncle
them
Phil
back
was
at
swinging it a couple of times this episode.
Yeah, he swung it a couple times for real.
so then you see them at back at Bel-Air Academy, and Carlton is at practice. And his game is off. They said he was pretty good. And he ain't been that, ever since he's been going through with, with Lisa and the medicine and everything. So his game, mentally, he's off. So his game just ain't there. So they like, Carlton, you need to get your shit together. Whatever. You usually play better than this. We gonna be out of the playoffs if you keep playing crappy like this. Then Connor, old weak ass.
Oh my God.
He makes a terrible, awful comment that deserves him to get packed out right there on the lacrosse field. But that's neither here nor there. But he said something to the effect. He said something to the effect. If anybody wanted to be cut off, they need to be him. Jeffrey need to go ahead and take him out. Abby, you need to write that one down. You need to go ahead and take that. You need to go ahead and take him out. But anyway,
that's right, Abby. We need to go ahead and get you on the case. Choose violence. We need to go ahead and
we need to get kind of out of here. You know what I'm saying? We need to pack the hell up and get him out of here.
Yeah.
But anyway, he says something to the effect. Don't quote me. That's one thing that they can't do, or something like that. I don't know the exact quote, but he was pretty much saying in a nutshell, one thing that they can't do. Which I feel about that episode.
He said one sport that they haven't taken over or something like that.
That's exactly what he said.
One sport they can't take over, lacrosse. He was talking about black. He was talking about the black people.
Right.
But at that point though, you can see how comfortable he is around Carlton saying that kind of shit.
If
you go back to the first episode, what was he doing? And Carlton over there just
bopping with his ass.
Getting it, yeah.
Bopping with his ass. Bopping with his ass. You should check.
But that goes back to what Lisa said at the end of the episode when she was talking to Will, and she was like, you deal with the racism and the microaggressions for so long, you figure out a way to deal with it. Everybody deals with it differently. So this episode made me soften how I felt about Carlton a little bit, because you do see a little bit of the insight and the struggle that he has with everything. But yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he got shitted on the whole episode, so I mean, I see where you're going with that. Like, it wasn't a good episode.
I just feel like that right there. It's like, man, you got a taste of your own medicine. At the same time, it's like, man, he was just that comfortable. It shows the comfort level Dave had. So he didn't even expect Carlton to take it way left, where he broke the man's wrist.
Yeah,
he didn't.
As far as him breaking his wrist go, I don't think that was him getting to taste his own medicine, because the
There's a
damage that you
reaction.
can do
Yeah, don't have
mentally
enough.
behind the fact that you constantly, I think that Carlton was just so numb to it, and he just let Connor get way too comfortable in that element,
Right.
behaving that
Yes.
way.
And that
And when he
and that's
finally
the
checked
thing. That's
him,
the
and
problem.
as his friend, when he checked him, it should have been some type of respect level. But it just goes to show that Connor don't have no respect for Carlton.
Nope.
There's a couple of ways to look at that
Hey,
because
story of OJ.
there's a couple ways to look at that because one, I'm your friend, so I should be
Right.
immune to those comments. You shouldn't be making those type of. It's okay when we tripping on somebody else, but now you are directing those same racist, inappropriate comments to me. You didn't have a problem with it when he was out here, hitting the Bobby Smyrna hot boy dance in the locker room,
In bombs.
dropping
That
in
man
bombs,
was up
and
there.
you
Hey,
bopping with him.
Carlton,
You bopping with him. You ain't have an issue with that. You ain't have an issue with him putting them drugs in your cousin. Well, he kind of sort of did, but it was okay when y'all ganged up on somebody else. But when I'm directing my viewpoints towards you, it kind of goes back to what Crystal was saying about Lisa's comment. I fully understood what she meant by that because in the society in which they're living in, they shouldn't be there. They're
Mm-hmm.
they're not. When I say they should be there, no, I don't mean that black people can't be affluent and live well and be a part of those things. But in other people's mindset and viewpoints, y'all don't belong. So what we see with Carlton is he has removed his blackness from him, and he's allowed himself to be a part of this circle that he know he should be a part of. It's just like the young
Mm-hmm.
lady, I can't remember what her name is, but she really gave him some good facts about himself, stuff that he's gotten lost in himself. And I think that's where the anxiety is probably centered around. He know that the shit that the people that he rocking with ain't right, but he's scared to stand up to them because now I'm going to be on the outside. I'm going to be outcasted. I'm not going to be popular or whatever. So he's allowed himself to be comfortable, but now he's getting to a point right now where he knows that this is not right. I'm not being true to myself.
But I don't agree with everything that girl said to him. But we'll get there.
So after we see Carlton, line Connor up on the lacrosse field.
Oh, Lisa, okay.
Finally, lines him up, and breaks his little punk ass wrist. And he crying like a little punk ass little fucking second grader. Anyway, I can't stand Connor. But anyway, so he so you see him talking to Will, and Will he heard what happened or whatever. So they like, well, keep it a buck. What happened? You can keep a buck with me. You did it on purpose, right? He was like, well, he kind of had it coming. I was happy to see Carlton stand up for himself, and I was happy for him to be honest and for him and Will to exchange that type of dialogue because this whole time you was riding for Connor, whatever, without seeing what he was actually doing. So, or you saw what he was doing, you just turned the cheek to it, he turned the other cheek to it, and now you see it, and now you're opening up your eyes. It's I thought that little brief conversation was definitely needed.
I agree.
Well, you definitely see Carlton and Will are starting to build something. Like you can see that
Mm-hmm.
they're really starting to build something.
I think that kind of build up a camaraderie between the two a little bit because it's like now we have a common enemy. So let's well, maybe not necessarily common enemy, but we have this person who we have a common stance on, and the way that he treats different race. But also during this conversation, Carlton is in his funk, so we're like, well, we're gonna plan a party. I got an idea. We're gonna have a little get together and shit about to get ready to be lit. We about to get ready to turn the mansion upside down Philly style. You invite your people, I invite mine, and then we'll go from there. But as you can see, or it seems like Connor has kind of been running Carlton's name into the dirt, and he only invite like a couple of his friends because Connor reached out to everybody and pretty much made Carlton feel like a scumbag. What y'all feel about that?
That's about right.
I mean, but that's just that this ain't your friend, and I don't even understand how you look at this person as your friend. You sit here and watching how he moves, and he's using manipulation. He's using tit for tat tactics on you, and you're supposed to be his day one.
Mhm.
And he treating you like this, like, yo, you need to cut this dude all the way water all the way off. Like, you need to just eliminate him from the circle. He ain't what you think he is. And I mean, that was that was pretty cut and dry for me.
Yeah, I mean yeah, like I said, that's to be expected for me. I
I
disagree. I disagree, El Teddy.
Oh, hold on a minute.
I disagree. I don't think Uncle Phil is pretending like his kids got the black experience. I mean, go back to when he hung out with his frat brothers. That's what all of them were saying about him. You
He
don't
been
hang with us
gone.
no more.
Yeah.
You're not Yamakra. What's his name? Yamakra.
Yamakra.
Yamaka.
Yeah, they were like, you know, you're not the dude that we knew in college. Like, you know, nobody knows that you from, like we talked about that. Nobody knows that you from a small town in North Carolina. Nobody knows that struggle. They only know you as the rich guy in Bel-Air. So now
He up in
Aunt
the hills.
Viv, I think, you know, is exudes that, but I don't feel like Uncle Phil does at all.
I'm with you on that.
Yeah.
We see that the next scene we see Hilary is showing her mom the PG-13 porn cooking show, The Thirsty Chef, and having a conversation with her mom. Her mom pretty much tell her, like, yeah, your dad can get you out of this, you know, because he got a lot of power, you know, money, you know, in his position, he has a lot of power. But you're here with a gym. Do you really want him to get you out of this, or do you want to take care of this situation yourself? It feels so
Right.
much better if you take care of it yourself. What y'all think about that?
I think that was not the advice she expected that she was going to get from her mother. I don't
Yep.
think that was a reaction she expected that she was going to get from her mother. But damn good advice. She put her own point. She's basically telling you, look, you created this situation for yourself. Yeah, your dad can fix it for you, but how how gratifying is it going to be that you can take care of the situation yourself? And it made
Right.
her think about it. Like, yo, I do need to handle this for myself. You know, I create this scenario for myself.
And you want to make sure you like it's great to have a safety net, but you want to make sure you use it when you really need it. Like, have you really exhausted all of your options before you came to your dad?
Exactly.
Or was that your first line of defense? Well, my daddy gonna handle it. You know, so
Of
I
course.
agree. I think that was some great advice.
But you see, Kylo was pretty much ghosted her. You know, like she was trying to get in contact with him to get that content removed off, and he pretty much ghosted her. That
I think
shows
that was the
you,
plan though.
but it also shows you what type of person that he is.
No, but again, it does, but not in the way I think you mean. It shows you
Mhm.
the type of person he was. But remember, he's a numbers guy. He's all about the algorithm, the likes, the comments, the views, the shares. So he ghosted her, but he ghosted her so that content could sit there and see what kind of numbers it was going to do. You see what I'm
Okay,
saying?
I ain't even
Like
looking
I
from that
feel like
point.
he purposefully did
And I
that.
think and I think he purposely uh allowed her to find out where he was to lure her there because he had already had the reps there from Victoria's Secret ready to talk to her. So I agree with what Crystal was saying. That was my thought process of it.
Yo,
The
Abby is
moment I
wilding.
avoid her, she always acting up.
Abby is wilding.
Oh my god. What is
Lord, between Abby and Xavier, the chat,
That
Lord
is
have mercy.
hilarious.
Oh my god.
Hilarious.
It's Emmy. But
Oh
yeah, I agree.
man.
Chris. That's exactly the way I perceived it as well. I'm going to duck and dodge her as long as I can because I want to see what these numbers finna do. And then,
Yeah.
when we finally meet face to face, I can hit her with this. Well, look at your numbers. Look at the stats. And you know, he did exactly what he did. He manipulated the situation.
Yep.
I ain't look at it from like that. I looked at it as he was team scumbag. I mean, he's still team
He's
scumbag.
still team
But
scumbag.
yeah, but I was looking at it, he was hashtag team scumbag, and he was just gonna run with it.
Like he
He's
that
pretty
dude
much.
that you got to kind of watch what you doing because you
Mm-hmm.
ain't no telling where he got hidden cameras at in the house.
Because you don't know
No
what he's going.
trust.
You don't know what he's going to do and what he's going to release.
Exactly. You
No
better
trust.
check your shower out, check your shower head and stuff out because you know this dude's kind of like a creeper. You ain't no telling where you got a camera at.
Yo, it is kind of creepy.
Yeah, he's a creeper.
So right after the conversation, you see that Uncle Phil and Vivian they have a conversation, and she's like she's going to some type of art event, in San Diego, and she was like, "Oh, I'm going to the art event in San Diego." Then she kind of pulled a him on him, was like, "Oh yeah, I was going, I was going to tell you, I wasn't going to tell you, I was going to, just make you be with it or whatever, kind of like how you did with the money." You just had to pretty much get with the program. I was just going because he's like, well, why you ain't tell me about it? You ain't never say anything about it. But then she pulled the him on him, which was nobody like a you done on you. Nobody likes a you done on you. But right after that,
Hilarious.
we see that G Hitman G. He done got some info. He done got some, some knowledge on Mr. Reed,
House manager.
On Mr. Creep Monster, who plays every creepy role possible. He pretty much like, yeah, he got this going on, he got that going on, and look at these women, that he's supposed to be putting on up and coming, whatever. Oh yeah,
Right.
and look what he got popping tonight. You know what I'm saying? He pulling up at the same event your wife pulling up with. What's popping with that? What y'all feel about that?
Well, Phil did what he had to do. I
He did
mean,
exactly what he was supposed to
yeah,
do.
you got to pull up at that point. Like
Absolutely.
Right.
she already, came back and to be honest, she was being spiteful. We all know that. I mean,
Mhm.
that's what it was.
That's
I'm
the
gonna
only
do
reason why
this.
she went. That's the
You
only
did
reason
what
why
you
she
did.
went.
I'm gonna do this.
Yep.
And Phil got that data and was like, look, I'm pulling up. I already know this little light skinned brother over here trying to, he trying to do something. And I'm gonna make sure, I put my foot down and stop all that. And he pulled up like he should have. I mean, we all agree with that, right? We can't. He did what he needed to do in that. I
And
ain't even
Jeffrey
mad.
did
Uncle
what
Phil
he needed to do.
He pulled up, and I think that was the dope part of it. But he shouldn't have played that draw four just yet because that kind of pissed Vivian off. You know what I'm saying? He should have.
Yeah, I agree.
He kind of kept that in his back pocket, and then pulled up on Reed with it. Like, hey man, check this out. You know what I'm saying? And then hit him with it. So that could have been like that man to man thing. You know what I'm saying? That way it could have been like, look, bro, I know what you're on. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, he kind of gave Vivian this whole perception of like, man, let's get out of here. Let's do this. Let's do that. Let's do that. You know what I'm saying? And then you hit her with the real reason why you there. So here's that false pretense. You know what I'm saying? So now she's like, oh, okay, well, you didn't just piss me off now. So I think he should have just hit him with that on a one-on-one and then just kept the whole vibe. Like, you know what I'm saying? She was feeling it. But when he hit, you know what I'm saying? When he hit Reed with that whole little jab, man, you know what I'm saying? That should have been
in front of her because he violated team. He violated team because why are you really here? Are you here because you want to support me? Or are you here because you want to make amends for our little disagreement that we had? Or are you here because you don't trust me?
Right.
Why are you here?
That's where that false pretense comes in at. So he shouldn't even did it right then and there. He should have waited and pulled up on him then.
Yeah, he should have put up on Reed on when his wife wasn't around and checked him. Like, yo, I know what you about. Stay away from my wife. If that's how he wanted to play that situation, if that's how he wanted to put dude on notice, I mean, some men are insecure when it comes to their wives' interaction with other men. Other men are confident that, hey, my woman can take care of her own. She ain't gonna disrespect me. But if that's the way he chose to handle the situation, he should have handled it behind the scenes with old boy, like how he did last week when he told him, "Get your ass up out of here, go be a guest, go do guest
shit."
Yeah.
Xavier funny. He said, "Why are you here, Ike?"
I mean, but he's playing that perfect guy. He's playing that perfect guy role. Well, don't believe everything you hear, and see what he vindicated himself in front of Vivian. So the damage you thought you were going to do to him by putting his business out on blast in front of your wife, all you did was gave him an opportunity to make him look more innocent, to make him look more like, you're dealing with a jealous husband here, because he's
Yep.
like, oh well, you don't have to believe everything you read on the internet about me. So it's that tit for tat, like, how motherfucker you thought you would get ready to get me, I'm on. You not.
Right. Told that man, you can't believe everything on Google. I was like, damn.
But the problem I got, all that's fine to me. The problem that I have is that Vivian, this man is telling you everything that you want to hear.
Yep.
Each and every last thing that you want to hear, and you hanging on every word. She even said so herself, like when they go ahead and had that conversation a little bit later. You hanging on to every word, whether it's true or whether it's not true or whatever. He's telling you everything that you want to hear. That's like 101. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I think
this is way he slick
see, it's the opposite of Phil. He was being supportive. She said that the first time they talked, when he told her about the money. You should have supported me 15 years ago. You didn't do none of that, and now she's hearing somebody saying, that supportive stuff. Hell, we didn't all use that method, Hey, we gonna tell them something they know they want to hear right now.
That's what I'm saying. Exactly.
Yeah, he was definitely gaming her, and she running with it right now. She drinking that water.
She shouldn't be drinking that water. She didn't have it. She should have had that conversation prior to this water coming in, and should have had that conversation before we even got to this point.
Right, because what happens when you sit on what happens when you sit on problems? They fester.
Yep.
And when they fester, they come out at the wrong time. And that's what's happening. This is something that should have been addressed way before this campaign started. This is something that should have been addressed way before this dude came into the picture. So I agree with that comment right there. But because we sit on secrets, we sit on things that are bothering us, and we don't want to pull each other's ticket, this is what happens. What I'm thinking about that, L. Teddy, is I agree. Uncle Phil definitely does seem off. But I think it's because he's conflicted as to who do you really want to be? Do you want to be straight-laced Phil, or do you want to be Yamakra?
Right.
So he's trying to please everyone that's connected to him, from his family to these folks out here on his campaign. So it's allowing him to make sloppy moves that I don't think that he would make otherwise. Because he's a boss, but he's trying to toe the line, and I, as long as he's toting this line, he's gonna forever make these wrong moves.
Xavier is hilarious, bro.
What is Xavier talking
about? All right, so
that is his. He like to hide on the beds.
hey, I'm telling you, he do like to go and hide up under the beds, man. He just like
and hide in door panels and wall panels. He like to hide in wall panels.
But the way just his whole persona, he's sitting there with his little wine, and your pictures are exquisite. Like, shut up, bro. Like, get out of here. We about to get ready to do that. Like, he bothers me.
Hey, but it worked for him. He's been bodying all these other female artists. So that worked for him.
Right.
He's been slaying them.
Yeah. He been knocking them down.
Whether Uncle Phil is jealous or not, he's definitely well within his right of pulling up. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm definitely gonna slide. You talking wow. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I'm a single man.
Like, no, we might really do that.
Yeah.
All right, so we see the party going on. They got the party, started. It's really not that many people there, as Carlton said.
With that comment right there.
Yep. I saw that one too.
Definitely agree with that comment.
Yeah,
I definitely agree.
You see it in her eyes.
You can see it all in her eyes. She don't trust the stuff around him. No, she don't.
Yeah. They at the mansion and the party. They got the party started. Whatever. He's trying to loosen Carlton up. Get him to have some fun and enjoy himself. He's been having a bad streak. We building something here. With our relationship. I'm really throwing this for you. My man Jazz slide through. He pulls up, and not only does he pulls up, and he giving Hilary the rundown. He try to take her down at this point. So,
well, you don't see the
he was on the way to.
The thirsty.
He was on the way to.
Right.
Yeah, he saw it. Yeah, he did say the thirsty shot.
Yeah, he saw the thirsty thought. So he was ready to see if he can get a little taste, get a little preview of that OnlyFans.
Yeah, yeah. He was like, you know, that's all the thirsty chef. But he also said, you know what, that's so not you. It don't seem like you the type to do anything like that, you know. So you kind of see where you definitely see where this Jazz and the
I like
previous
this
Jazz.
Jazz, though. I like his character, and he did exactly what I wanted him to do. Now he had the opportunity to smash. If he hadn't checked their phone, I think they would have had a whole different outcome than what ended up happening with them. But the fact that he was ready to ride for her on the strength that, you know, I'm cool with your cousin, you know, you put me on social media, we vibing or whatever, you know, I'm gonna go be that dude that's gonna represent you. So I really liked that about him, that he was willing to go around a circle, around a crowd, and he was ready to set it off. Like, yo, he was like, take the post down. And then when he saw that she was kind of sliding sideways to that, he looking at her like, yo, you brought me
What's
here
going on?
yeah, to support you, and now you sunning me in front of old dude.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
I didn't have to play him in front of old dude.
Right, go get the drinks.
And I'm rooting for him too, Abby. I'm really rooting for them. Go get the drinks. Yeah, then he talking about I'll have the same thing that she having. Like, I'm really rooting for them because I feel like he's going to bring balance to her because she's conflicted on what she needs to do about this career. She's conflicted about, you know, where she's measuring up in the family. So I think he's going to balance her and get her to look at things from a different perspective, but at the same time be that supportive man that she probably needs in her life.
Right.
I completely. Everybody in the episode has skank tendencies. well, except for Master Ashley, she didn't have those skank tendencies in this.
She wasn't even in there. We didn't even see her.
I know. So that's why she had those skank tendencies.
No, they said Jeffrey took her to a sleepover.
Right, but we still didn't see her.
Yeah, we didn't see her. Yeah.
Right.
I mean, for $15K per post, I mean, that is a huge deal, but I mean.
But let me tell you something though.
How do y'all feel about
$15K per post? But is it for her? Is it about like you said, what's the conflict? Is it about the money? Is it about the notoriety? Like, what is it about the Hilary? Is it about finding her own way?
Both. Well, she needs the money. She needs the money to be able to sustain her lifestyle. She's a rich kid, so she need that guap to sustain that lifestyle. But at the same time, she also needs that notoriety to build her brand. So I kind of understand that part, and I can understand her ultimately going back on her. For me, I'm sorry. I know everybody thinks, but me, I have strong convictions. So if I feel some way about something, regardless of how much it's going to set me up for an advantage, no matter how good the money is, if it's not what I feel in my heart that's right for me, I'm going to pass on it.
Yeah, I'm straight on it.
But at the same time, she did set herself up for a come up too. I mean, $15K per post. I mean, that's long money.
She wants her mom.
This was like the first episode I think I saw where this Hilary gave me old Hilary tendencies. When she wanted she saw that money. That's the old Hilary would have saw the money and was like,
yeah, I agree with that, Wise. Nah, I do agree with that.
But I mean, I'm not saying no to y'all. I'm just saying I'm gonna push back on that because this is what she wants to do. She wants to be an influencer. She wants to get paid for doing this. Like, this is what she wants. And yes, granted, she wasn't crazy about the lingerie thing. She didn't like it so much, but it's getting her where she wants. Like, doing it her way wasn't getting her where she wanted. And this goes back to what Monica was saying to her at the beginning of the episode. Listen, I don't always like the way Kylo does things, but he does get results. So you have to ask yourself, and I understand what you're saying. You want it, but do you want it like this?
Pick the lesser of the two evils.
That's the conversation she has to have. Is okay, am I cool? Like, I want to cook and I want people to pay me to do this. This is what I want to do. I want to be a social media influencer. Now the question is, am I cool with doing it in my lingerie? I mean, she wasn't naked. She just had on lingerie. Like, you gotta.
She wasn't naked yet.
Slope, but
right.
Yeah, it goes back to I take it back to back to the wrestling days with Ted DiBiase. Everybody got a price.
You did not take it back to Ted DiBiase.
Ted DiBiase, $1 Million Man. It was it
Ooh,
was she went in there all hyped up.
Wow.
Aunt Viv had her hyped up, she talked to Jazz, she was hyped up. It was the principle, hey, take this down. This is not what I want to do for my brand. And then as soon as Kylo started hitting her with the whole, hey, I got Victoria's Secret over here on line 1. They talking this money, everything changed. She pushed Jazz over to the side and was like,
And when you
if she would have started out like that, then nobody would have a problem with it.
Right.
But once she started doing that and she started losing the integrity of what she actually there to do, and she's trying to identify her independence, and within identifying her independence, not using her mom and not using her dad, at some point, it feels as though that she kind of lost that and she went to this because this was an easier route. This was an easier route for her. So since it's an easier route, she like, well, I could just do it in my lingerie, whatever. I ain't got no problem with that. You do it in your lingerie or whatever. If this is the way that you would have started, and this is the way that
exactly. That's my point. That is my whole point.
She switched up.
Because yes, you're going to be cooking, but you're going to have to wear these nightgowns now from now on when you cooking. So in other words, you're going to
get an expectation. It's going to be
exactly.
Not nobody wants to see you cooking in a damn velour.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
Like,
that's going to have to become her new niche. That's going to have to become her new niche. She's going to have to be in them nightgowns. She's going to have to be in them bras and panties. She's going to have to do whatever she's going to have to do to keep this momentum. Otherwise, she's going to lose that $15K endorsement. So she's going to have to model. So she has no choice now. By her own admission, she has no choice now. But this is the new way that you're going to have to deliver.
And she's also desperate. She's desperate to not go back home.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Because even when they asked her, asked her how what's going on in the influencer's house, how's it in the influencer's house or whatever, during the previews of this episode from the last episode, you see like they had cameras all in their face, the twins or whoever the pranksters are, and she looking like, what the hell, but she lied. It said, oh, everything is going fine. There's not any issues or whatever, because she don't want to let them know that it is not going the way she that she thought it was going.
Well,
and that's the other thing we're not talking about either, is how this is going to affect the campaign.
I was just ready to bring that up. So Hilary making this content, do y'all think it's going to hurt Uncle Phil's campaign? I think it is.
It's definitely a bullet in his gun. Yeah.
Yep.
Hilary's Banks not only cooks, she also do OnlyFans. Please vote for Fred. It's gonna be so. You know how they be doing with dark voices. Y'all know how it goes.
Do you think that was Kylo's motive from inception to bring her into the influencer house to slut her out?
No, it could be. I don't know Kylo motive. I don't think necessarily so, but it's not out of the question.
Think that her cooking was enough interest for them to want to bring her in. I think he saw opportunity with that.
He said it's repetitive. It was like, you see somebody cooking, it's repetitive.
He was shitting on her last week about her cooking.
It doesn't do nothing for the algorithm.
Don't want to see that.
He wasn't shitting on the cooking. He was saying, don't keep doing the same thing over and over.
Right.
He was like, you can keep cooking, but you got to bring something different to it.
And that's why she did it in her drawers. I skipped a really important scene. At least to me, I felt as though it was really important to see. Carlton and Aisha. The conversation between Carlton and Aisha. When Lisa showed up, he was talking to and we was talking to Lisa. He like, she probably somewhere around here sober, but I did a little love connection. I played a little hookup, and then it switches over to Carlton and Aisha. And Aisha is like, on the post, if y'all follow TSF Entertainment, you see it was posted where it said, we see the little retro Carlton. Because you look at his phone, you see that dumbass dance.
You see the dance. Yep.
I was like, I knew it was going to come up at some point, that dumbass dance. So you see the dumbass dance. She was like, that's one of my favorite dances too. And you see them get like a little connection or whatever, a little vibe. Right. And she like, well, in a nutshell, maybe you ain't this corny. Maybe you ain't this person that, that everybody is saying you are. He like, where everybody said. She like, well, I shouldn't have said nothing. He was like, I can take it.
With the story of OJ.
That's I feel like they got good chemistry. I feel like they had good chemistry, and they probably could be a good little, couple.
But she like, you play lacrosse, you like NASCAR.
She told him what he needed to hear.
She hit
But
him
he
with
can
I
handle it.
disagree.
From a black person.
Hey, man.
We
At the
need
I
to
end of the
hear.
day,
disagree.
this is how you're gonna be viewed.
Yep.
This is how you view to them. These are your friends, but this is still how they view you at the end of the day. We just think your ass a chump.
I don't think
I
his fans
disagree.
view him as corny. I think the black students at the
No, no,
at
no,
the
no, no. What I'm saying is this is how they view his so-called friends, Connor and everybody.
No, no, no. I agree with that
Basically,
part.
at the
I
end of
Mhm.
the
said,
day, you still black.
And you
You
need
know what I'm
to
saying?
and you
Still
need
black.
to not forget the fact that you're black all the time.
But at the right, exactly. So now you got the black students. They like, damn, bro, you done forgot you black. You know what I'm saying? What's the deal with that? Like, man, you play lacrosse, you like race cars. You know what I'm saying? That shit is odd.
but
We got
I
some
agree.
Now,
I
that
understand what
part
y'all
of
are
it.
saying,
Go
but
ahead,
I
Chris.
disagree with the way she chose to express it because again, you're making being black a monolith and it's not. You
Right.
can be black and like yachting. You can be black and
Right.
like lacrosse. And when she was like, you don't come to any of the BSU meetings, that's not cool. I had a problem with that. So because he doesn't join the Black Student Union, that's an issue. Her point from what you guys are saying, that point is valid. You're hanging, and if that's what she has said, I'm cool with it. You know, you're hanging with Connor, and everybody know Connor is an asshole and he's racist. You know what I'm saying? Like
Right.
these are the people you choose to be friends with are problematic, and they're problematic to us. But to the examples that she used, I was like, and like he said, he was like, so because these are the things I like, I'm not black. Like that's not fair. Because if
Right,
that's what he's been exposed to,
I agree
it
with
goes
that.
back to how he grew up. If that's what he's been exposed to, and that's the life that he's led, it's nothing wrong with that.
But it kind of goes back to this. I agree, Crystal. It kind of goes back to the whole thing that we were saying about trade. Listen, at some point, money is going to make your life evolve. It doesn't change who you are as a person per se, but it changes what you are exposed to. So
Right.
because you're exposed to a nicer level of life, you can experience things that you wouldn't otherwise have access to. That doesn't make you less black. If you like designer things, if you like to go yachting, you like to play chess, you want to read books, you want to play lacrosse, do whatever makes you happy. But that doesn't change the color of your skin. And it doesn't change the fact that you should allow someone to desecrate your race or to disrespect you or your family or your race or your heritage. Be proud of who you are and what you like, not
Right.
what color my skin is. And that's real life.
You got anything to say about that, Wise?
No, I think y'all hit it on the head with that. Like, I mean, she told him what he needed to hear. I mean, at the end of the day, that whole dialogue in that time, she told him exactly what he needed to hear at that time because Carlton wouldn't have came to that conclusion, unfortunately, on his own. He just, I don't think he would have. This Carlton,
and he wouldn't have received it from anyone else the way he received it from her.
From
I
her, right?
agree with Crystal about the whole BSU comment. Take that off of the table because I don't have to necessarily be part of the Black Student Union in order to be woke. But what you see, what you're starting to see here with the Black students is they're kind of all in this bubble where they realize they're out of place. And so they expect for all of them to be a circle of unity against the oppression or against the comments that are made in regards to them being at the academy. But in that respect, the man comes from a rich family. He's going to have things that, I mean, obviously you come from a pretty well-off family. Y'all money might not be long as theirs. Y'all might not be living in a mansion, but at the end of the day, you're going to school in Bel-Air. So you're not broke and destitute. You're not broke and destitute, but you may not experience the things that his life has experienced because your family money might not be long as theirs. So that
it definitely could have been worded better. It definitely could have been worded better. Hey, why don't you try going to one of the BSU meetings or something? Yeah. You should come to me with a BSU meeting. There's some very informative things in there.
I still feel like there was chemistry with them because even when he did decide to stand up to Connor, you saw her in the background kind of giving him the okay, like, yeah, you did that.
I was just about to get ready to say that. Like, if he didn't, you see him, he walks off because he really didn't want to, even though he said, be honest, he really couldn't take,
You can
the
take that, yeah.
radical
Snuff his
honesty.
ass right there in
He,
front of everybody. He
he,
should
he
snuff
couldn't
right
take the
there.
radical honesty. So, like, he walks off and he's laying on the couch and he get text messages from one of his lacrosse teammates, and then Connor just slide through after he goes down there and he meet him in the game room, and he's like, that's fine. We can squash this or whatever. I need Connor to apologize, for all the racist shit that you've been saying. Like it's not cool. Connor ain't apologizing or whatever. Yeah, he probably get his lacrosse boys go back to him, and go back to his place. They like, nah, it ain't cool. Everybody's looking like, okay,
Damn,
you
that's
have
so
to say
long. Yeah,
something.
like they didn't know he did that. Yeah, like
It
everybody
looked
like,
like they didn't know, but they
Yeah,
probably
he put him on
just turned
blast.
the other cheek on it.
Yeah, he put him on blast.
Yeah, so since he put him on blast, he was like, nah, just forget it, whatever. But you do see Aisha in the back, like, all right, my man Carlton finally got some balls.
Yep, they dropped a little bit.
hit him with the
he flexed
hit him
on
with
him.
the bishop.
He put a little flex on him.
Finally
That
stood
was his
up.
pride.
Damn.
That was
Yep.
probably like his proudest moment, and you can see that's his proudest moment because you see Will and Lisa, they kind of dip off into the room or whatever, and
And
Charge the
and
phone.
he's in charge of his phone,
Charge the
Yeah.
phone,
and
right.
he texts him, like,
And
yeah,
told
I
him that
said,
Connor is here causing trouble, but I handled that. He was proud of the fact that he handled it.
yeah,
That was his awakening. That was his awakening right there. So I think that we're going to see uh, some distance between Connor and Carlton going forward. What I like about this particular episode, even though it's a little slow and it's a filler episode and everything, what I have liked about this episode, and maybe the last episode, parts of the last episode, they are finally setting it up where Carlton is not the villain in every episode. So
Mhm.
I like the fact that we are now getting to a point where we can actually start rooting for Carlton a little bit. He's still a dick, he's still an asshole. And we know he's probably gonna be back on one next week. But for today, I'm rooting for him.
Another thing, I kind of slipped this one. Why did Vivian go back with and hang out with Reed?
Because in that conversation, she realized just how disconnected her husband's feelings are towards what's important to her. Now he's telling her 15 years later, he's telling her, "Oh, I've always loved your artwork. I've always been your biggest fan. Why didn't you tell me that then? Why couldn't you give me that support then?" So are you saying this to me now because Reed is trying to press up on me? You scared that Reed gonna leave me with a wet ass, or do you really feel the way you feel about my work?
I like that.
I was trying not to laugh. I was trying.
I like that. Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Why?
I was trying not to laugh,
I
man.
like that. Yes, sir. Uh-huh. There you go.
I was trying.
Yeesh.
I'm sorry.
You know,
Oh my!
I know where that one came from. I like that. Yeah.
That was
Yeah.
terrible. That was terrible.
Conversation with my brother and leave things on my mind from time to time. Sorry.
Yeah.
That was terrible.
Uh-huh.
I don't think.
Wow.
I think
Where it is, boy.
I don't know how to feel about. I don't know how I feel about that yet. Like I don't know how I feel about that. I feel as though that it's definitely like them two definitely make feel uncomfortable.
Yeah.
So with that discomfort, do we have to eat that discomfort at the price of her trying to get back into her heart where her heart is?
That's a good question. The better question is, how does he fix it going forward?
That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't think that fixed it.
Yeah.
It didn't.
No, they didn't. But this is how I feel about it. I understand that, but I feel like when he explained why, I understood where he was coming from when he said, "Listen, what I saw, yes, you are talented and I love your artwork, But no matter how many times people told you
Good,
you were talented, no matter how many times people told you your artwork was great, I saw those insecurities and I saw your self-confidence being, eroded time and time again. And I felt like part of the reason why he didn't encourage her to go back to art was because he didn't want to see her go back into that place. Now he should have said that, and this is a conversation that they should have had 15 years ago. But once he explained himself, I heard it. Like I was like, damn. So in his mind, he was protecting her. Now the way he went about doing it hurt her more. But I heard that. You know what I'm saying?
He was $1 short and a minute late.
Yeah, I thought that scene was kind of interesting because for her it's about her art, and the way the artists think, and for one, they already say artists is like partially, I don't want to say crazy, but the wheels is always turning in their head. The wheels never stop, But I just thought that was just a bad idea. That wasn't going to fix it. That was definitely making it worse.
I was glad to hear her admit that there was some resentment involved as well. Because when they started having the conversation in regards to, like, I thought you would be happy with me telling you, you don't ever have to work a day again in your life. You don't have to never worry about a dime again a day in your life. You thought that I would be happy with that. You thought that that's all I needed is to be kept. It kind of goes back to what we were saying about Monet when Lorenzo came home. Like, listen, I want to have my own identity in this marriage. Right. And it doesn't involve me sitting at home and shopping all day.
And getting the chicken.
So it was a very important comment for her to make to him, to let him know that there is a little bit of resentment for the fact that we're here now. But we're here now. It's 15 years later. How do we move forward?
That's my thing. It could be resentment. How do you?
But I think more so like with, even though she was mad with him, even though Vivian was mad with Phil.
And let's just be clear.
I think low key he actually put her on game. So she's going to game at some point. I think she's going to game Reed ass.
Oh yeah, she definitely is. But you also have to understand, in this moment, she's upset with his antics. She's upset with the fact that you showed up unannounced. You put your dick out on the table in front of Reed. She's still in the back of her mind pissed off about this whole money situation. Right. So all this is just kind of a big pot of mess right here. Right. And then, you coming out here and you flexing your muscle, but I can handle my own. I'm a Philly girl. I can handle my own. So all that is just, how it is when you get mad and you're in an argument, everything that you've been sitting on, everything that's been bothering you is going to come out in that argument.
Right. Everything that you've been harboring. Because she even made the statement about the money. Remember when she was like, oh, so now we making decisions, you know what I'm saying? Oh, but we making decisions, separately. So, you know what I'm saying? I'm going here, you do your
thing. When he made that comment about it's my money, that did something to her.
Oh.
Yeah. Facts.
That money
did something to her spirit.
My money to a black woman.
That did something to her spirit.
Yeah, she would hear that.
I just wanted to. I forgot about that because in my head I'm just like, well, this ain't gonna make it no better, but whatever. We'll see. Yeah, we'll see how that unfolds, in future episodes. So at the Carlton chat,
Jeffrey kind of put him on game too, because he was like, well, Jeffrey, send some flowers, make a reservation, get a spa day. Jeffrey like, look, that ain't gonna fix this. That ain't gonna cut it. Like, you got a bigger issue than just makeup sex or a nice dinner date or an expensive gift. That ain't gonna fix this.
Right.
You got a bigger problem, and until you deal with this problem right here with Mr. Steal Your Girl, you ain't gonna never get this right.
Yeah, because he probably when you listen to the names, they all female. They all will he be talking the same talk to a dude, that's Peyton, you know what I'm saying? Like, will he still be talking, oh, your page is just so it does something to my soul, and it's just so exquisite. Like, he wouldn't be having that same
holding his glass like
I'm fucking her. He is mine.
Yeah, we not about to get
right now.
not about to get ready to do that, bro. You ain't talking that shit about Uncle Phil's campaign, bro.
Right.
We not about to get ready to do that. Go sit over there. You know what I'm saying? Do a fucking
Right.
turkey hand
And
painting
drink a
and
grape.
go on about your business.
And drink a
We
grape.
not about to get ready to do that.
Right.
That's just my thoughts. We not about to get ready to do that. Anyway, so we see that, you know, Carlton got a data boy moment, and he's trying to tell his cousin about the data boy moment, but him and Lisa just slid off into, you know, into the little duck off spot, you know, his little duck off spot in his room or whatever, you know, charging. And she asks you questions, you know, she asks the questions, he asks the questions, but Will kind of like, all right, I think something clicked.
I was proud of Will.
I think something clicked, was like,
Yep.
No, I'm not gonna ask it. That's when we find her name is, what's her name again? Beulah.
That's a throwback too.
Mhm.
That's back to the old episode.
That ain't no damn.
Yeah.
Will Long said the same shit in the original.
Yeah. So
But
you know,
what? I respect the fact that Will not a slow leap. You're not a slow leap because he was processing. Because when she was kind of adamant, because she had kind of mentioned it before. I want to know all your secrets. You know, when they were getting settled in on the couch, I want to know all your secrets or whatever. And he was like, "You first." And then, you know, she told him about this. Don't compare apples to apples here. You told me that real name and me telling you that I went to jail for almost shooting someone. That don't kind of compare. So, you know, she was adamant about wanting to know, why did I come to Philly? Why do you keep pressing me about this? You don't ask me this question before. I've already gave you my answer. So do you not feel like I'm being honest with you?
The light bulb came on though.
The light bulb came on. Like, what's so unbelievable for me to say I'm here for a better education? Like, why do y'all feel like that's out? And you just got finished commenting on the fact that I got a trophy for mathematics. I got all these books and stuff here. Do you not feel like I'm cultured? Do you not feel like I want a better education? Like, why do you feel like there's disbelief in that comment? So I was I was glad to see that he did not give in.
We'll put my teeth. Said somebody got terrible Philly slang. I think that the dude actually played Will. He's actually from Philly, but I thought that was very interesting too, because Uncle Phil put him up on game, and he actually took heed to what Uncle Phil was talking about, you know, because he just, like, it's a reason that Uncle Phil is telling him this, you know, especially because you don't want nobody to know why you're really out here anyway. You don't want nobody to really know why you're out here. Carlton already holding the bullet that's aimed at your head, and you just waiting to pull the trigger. So you definitely don't want to, you know, you definitely don't want nobody else to get the gun, because Carlton already know, he wasn't supposed to know. So other family members weren't supposed to know. Hell no, Lisa ain't supposed to get ready to know, especially by your dad being 12. No, shut up. I'm glad he did that.
He did the right thing.
Yep.
Bro, I was sitting there. I'm like, man, I hope this motherfucker don't get the pillow talking, fam. Come on.
I thought we getting ready to do some pillow talking too.
I think we were all nervous at that point. We were
we all got nervous.
Don't do it, Will.
Yep.
Yeah, don't
I
do
think
it.
I needed GTD. He go. If y'all see Martin, y'all know what GTD means.
The draws.
I got the draw. Yeah. He definitely gonna start pillow talking. You know, he should have told her something like, I eat bananas with my spaghetti or something. I don't know, peanut butter and spaghetti.
But even though we mad at Will for breaking bro code, he did try to slow things down, because he was like, "You sure you want to do this? You know, you sure we not moving too fast, man?" Miss Hot Pocket, she was ready. She was ready. She had heated that Hot Pocket up, and it was ready.
I mean, but are you mad at Will? Like, Will was in high school. You know what I'm saying? His will is weak as hell.
It's not Will that I per se have a problem with, even though we say that he's breaking guy code. It's the fact that you are in the center point of these two cousins.
Right.
They're cousins. They're not homeboys. They family.
She should have known better. Exactly.
Right.
They both should have known better. I blame both of them for this mess.
But this is
overall, yes.
More problems. This is
overall, I think
more problems in this family because of her.
Right. Facts.
I think once she said, "I'm dating your cousin," like she told him that I was dating your, you know, me and your cousin, you know, whatever. At that point, Will should let it go. Will should let it.
She gonna
Wow.
Give her a whole
Hilarious.
pass. She don't get no damn whole pass for that shit.
No, she don't get no whole pass.
Hilarious.
It's fine.
Nope.
She get the walk
No,
of shame pass. She get the walk of shame pass when she came up the steps, half dressed and looking all crazy. Yeah, she got the morning after. Shame.
She was not half dressed. Now, don't exaggerate. She had on her clothes.
She was half
We was
dressed.
left with a wet ass.
Yeah, the full uniform.
I mean, she was still
Jordan
wrong. Let's be clear. She was wrong. But she been wrong for messing with Will. Like,
That's facts.
both of them were wrong.
I blame her even more than I blame him more than I blame her. That's your cousin, bro.
It's the other way around.
That's not the way for me. Yeah.
Yeah, it's the other way for me.
That's your cousin. You gotta let
You
that
know
go.
the history, and then the fact that you keep alluding to Carlton having all these issues and all these problems. You know what this is going to.
Both of them are wrong.
You know
Both of them are wrong. Both of
they're
them are wrong,
both wrong.
but that's your blood. So I'm just kind of like, whatever. They both was wrong. Who we getting?
Yeah, but at the same time, Carlton's not making it easy for him to ride for you either. When you treat me like shit from out the starting gate, you know, you expect me to be loyal to you, but you treat me like shit.
That's true, but you know,
that don't mean it's right. Too long to make it right. It make it even though.
Yeah, it makes it even.
make it even though. Anyway,
I feel like that too. What pulls my teeth? Like I think they're trying to play on that Will's
See,
a ladies man.
a crackhead sloppy seconds.
Wow.
Jesus Christ!
Wow.
dig for gold in the
Wow.
Wow. I didn't really feel.
Damn.
I love it. I love it. All of them pull up. I love all of it. I'm here
The
for all of
chat
it.
is brutal.
This y'all. This chat
Crackhead,
is brutal,
sloppy
man.
seconds.
I love this chat. I love it. I love it when they
Jesus
pull up.
Wow.
A
Oh my
crackhead
gosh.
sloppy seconds. Wow.
Damn.
Damn.
Anyway,
He just
Carlton
finally
ain't
broke
smashed.
cold, man. That's all I'm saying, bro. Like,
Carlton ain't smashed. I guarantee you he ain't smashed. But anyway, it's not here nor there. Carlton ain't
Yeah,
smashed.
I agree with that because
Hey,
his
hey,
reaction
hey,
told that. His reaction
Yeah.
told that.
he ain't smashed, but here's the thing: thou shalt not dig for gold in another man's mind.
It ain't his mind no more, buddy. That mind is gone. That mind was shut up. Will had to dig it back out. He had to dig
But
that
you see,
back out.
like he axing around, Carlton axing around looking for Will. He like, so where Will at? Where Will at? He look at the stairs like,
He knew
do I
at that
really want to go
point.
up these stairs?
At that
He knew
point.
when he looked up
he
the
knew.
stairs, he was like, I don't even want to do this.
Do I really want to go up these stairs?
Okay, let's talk about
That
when 12
hesitation
showed
right
up.
there. Yeah.
So let's talk about when the op showed up. How did y'all feel about that moment? Because that was about to be a powerful moment, and I wanted Carlton to experience that. I really wanted them to go a little bit further with that, because what I wanted it to do was to wake up in Carlton what his cousin just had to deal with back in Philly. And you think because you are here in high life and high society that you safe from that.
Well, to
I
an extent
really
he
wanted them to
did,
expand
because
on that a little bit
if to an extent he did, because he had that, you know, they showed the visual. He got hands on his head, fingers interlocked, you know what I'm saying? So they was finna get in and start in on his ass because the police kept asking him, like, hey, who resident is this? Who resident is this? They basically like, motherfucker, we don't believe you. You know, this house can't be this big and you stay here. And he, you know,
He didn't get that at first, though.
We don't know what Connor said when he called the police either.
Yeah, because he
We
said
don't know
your
what to
other
say.
guest. He sent him that text him at your other guest about to arrive. This
Right.
motherfucker.
We don't know what Connor said when he called the police either. He could have
Yep.
said they doing drugs or like we don't know what Connor was mad. He was in his feelings. We don't know what Connor said.
kind of a bitch.
I got a question. So with his friend being the chief of police and with Uncle Phil being the running this big campaign, and they've taken family pictures for his campaign, he don't know who Carlton is. How can you not know who Carlton Banks is when
Listen.
he's
Because he's just another nigga. Because he's just another nigga.
When you that type of, but regard, when you that type of political figure, and your dad is best friends with Uncle
They
Phil,
knew who house they were pulling up to when they
Yeah,
got the
that's
call.
not. They don't know all of that. They just responded to a call. Like Ain't
But
nobody.
they
I
didn't.
mean,
But they don't
nobody's
even know
saying
that.
this is Philip Banks' house.
Right, I understand that, but I understand that. I completely understand that. But if it was Joe Johnson walking down the steps and not Carlton Banks walking down the steps, I think it would be a completely different. This wasn't somebody else's house, and he was in a different jurisdiction. He was in Bel-Air, where your dad has his big campaign going, and y'all take these political photos. They take family pictures for the
That don't mean,
campaign.
but that doesn't mean that he's in. Okay, so all right, I'm just gonna be honest, and people in the chat, people on the panel, how many of y'all know who y'all district attorney is by face? You walking down the street and you recognize the district attorney for your city, your county, your state.
If you're a police officer, you should.
No, you don't. That doesn't mean you do. No, it doesn't. It doesn't necessarily mean you know who they are, and you damn sure don't know their kids.
They know who Kim Fox is around this motherfucker because she let everybody off. Fuck that.
The average person wouldn't recognize the kids, and especially again, not in that environment. And again, you know, we're assuming good intentions. These cops didn't show up with good intentions.
No,
they didn't. They did.
They came looking for trouble.
Yeah, they didn't show up with good intentions.
Why? Be quiet on the subject.
Abby said the only DA she knows on Law and Order.
Why is he quiet on the subject? What you think?
Bro? I would think I'm not a cop. You know, I know some friends as cops, but I maybe have to ask them, do they know who the district attorney is? I definitely don't know who the district attorney is here, but I had to ask them, do they know who the district attorney is? So I don't know. I just thought that it was kind of odd because in the beginning you saw them taking pictures and all types of stuff, you know, at the Banks residence, you know, and by your boss being best friends with Philip Banks, I would think that y'all would have some idea of who Carlton, Ashley, and Hilary Banks is. Definitely Hilary, because she's going worldwide on the internet.
Well, we probably overthinking this one. Like I think we giving it too much thought on it. Kind of like Ebony said earlier, we wanted Carlton to get that black experience of when they pull up, and any way he did, because he tried to walk down the steps all nonchalant, like, "Hey, it's my house," you know, "Hey, it's my house. Hey guys, sorry guys, you know what's going on? I'm the guy here."
Like
they weren't buying that. It started clicking, but he's like, "Hey, it's my house," and you know, nobody was believing it, and
he thought he could just sweet talk, you know, he thought he could just talk his out, you know, "Hey, it's my house, guys, what's good?" Like, and you could again, they didn't show up with good intentions. They didn't show up, and I don't know, y'all. I disagree, El Teddy. I just don't think it was that deep. They got a call over the dispatch, said there's a disturbance. Somebody called in a noise disturbance. The police are out on patrol. They show up at the house. Yeah, they're in Bel-Air, but that doesn't mean they have a map and they know each person and what house it belongs to. I don't know. I don't think it's that deep. I just think the police got a call. They were out on patrol. They got a call by dispatch saying, "Go by this house. There's a party going on." The neighbors called in a noise disturbance, and they showed up. And they saw a bunch of kids having a party, and it didn't occur to them that it was a black family. And when Carlton was like, hey guys, they was like, whatever, nigga. Like, that's just how
put your hands pretty much. Hey, what did he tell them? He said, don't you take one more step.
Right, exactly.
Your black ass stay put.
All right, so you see that Beulah, you know, Beulah and Will, and they look ahead. And hey, Beulah, name is Beulah.
That's her name, exactly.
I'm gonna call her Beulah.
Beulah. Busy B. Beulah. That's what.
Busy B. Beulah. That's her new name.
Busy B. Beulah. That's her name.
We got Dirty Diana. We got Busy B. Beulah. Yep.
After Will and Busy B. Beulah that took care of business, you know, he looks up. He see the berries and cherries. He like, oh shit, I gotta go downstairs. You know, whatever. And she get up. She put her clothes on. You know, she was like, you know, I'm going down with you. He's like, nah, because then, you know, whatever, your dad go find out. He like, but I can help. So she gets her dad on the phone and she come down there. You know, she saved the day. Carlton's face, on the other hand, seeing what he already knew,
confirmed everything.
You
Dude,
back on next
I'm
week.
not rooting for Carlton, but this kid can't buy a break.
I
That's
felt
what I'm
bad.
saying. He
for
got
Carlton.
shitted
I
on the
ain't
whole
even gonna
episode.
front. I felt
Yeah,
bad.
Yeah,
for
he
him.
did. Yeah, he did.
You back on next week.
And we'll come down the stairs with that old "I wish you wouldn't trust me so much" Bobby Womack ass look on his face.
That goofy ass look he had on his face. You told
Yeah.
He
me.
couldn't even look him in his face. He couldn't even look him in his eyes.
He didn't
He knew
have
at
to
that
say, "I
point.
wish
He
you wouldn't
knew.
trust me."
No,
Right? He couldn't
shame.
even make eye contact with
Low
him.
down, dirty shame. It's called shame. That's what it was.
He never took his shame, boy. He didn't look that man in his eyes. You
She
just
didn't-
smashed.
She didn't have much of a shame walk about herself though. She was like,
Yeah, she smashed the homies.
yeah,
Right, she walked downstairs like my daddy on the phone.
yep.
With a wet ass.
Like,
Pulls my teeth. He right about that. Carlton about to hit the mountain hard.
Oh
Yeah,
my
he
god,
is.
Yeah.
no story. Yeah, this man gonna
About to hit
pass
that
out.
mountain hard.
Right, he about to
ah,
score
yeah.
so far.
No, he definitely about to go full Al Pacino and Scarface.
Yup.
I'm talking about tall lines.
And the few
All
back.
right, man. So
So
overall,
whatever piece they had came to, it's over.
All that was gone.
Oh yeah, that's a wrap. It's about to be
all that
World
was
War
gone.
III up in that house.
Yup.
Yep.
y'all think
Ain't no coming back from
y'all
that.
think Aisha gonna ease some of that stress?
It don't know.
I hope Aisha relieves some of that stress because I
It ain't
like
gonna
the
help.
chemistry with them. I like the
You can
chemistry,
tell Carlton the kind of person he ain't gonna let shit go.
Hell
It's
nah.
gonna
He's
stay
not.
there.
and he's
He's
petty
not
like
letting
I
that
said
shit go no
ease
matter
some.
what.
I ain't saying he's gonna completely go away. I
He's
said
petty like
ease
that.
some.
Right, right, Kiwan. That's why Will tried to hook him up, was hoping that he would hook up with Aisha and he wouldn't be thinking about it.
And that might have would've
But
worked.
then, you
Little
know what?
interference joint.
That could have made this is how I look at that situation. Will tried to hook that up, but if he would have, if Carlton would have smashed her, then it would have also looked as though like Lisa smashed Will being fucking vulnerable or as a payback.
It's just messy.
It's just messy all the way around. It is
But
messy.
it's not just. But that storyline is messy, and all the rest of them are messy too. I mean, all of it is.
The whole thing is messy.
The whole house.
Ashley messy, Hilary messy, Carlton, Will. Jeffrey ain't messy.
Yet.
Shit.
He ain't messing.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah,
Jeffrey,
yeah.
Jeffrey is 30
You're
from
a
the
headhunter.
street.
What you talking about? He a headhunter. Everything.
He ain't messy.
What he
Nobody's no foul. Nobody's no
Right.
foul.
Nobody's no foul. Right.
Nobody's no foul. He ain't in jail. There ain't no fingerprints. He ain't never been caught up. He getting rid of bodies, and then that's it. We just gotta get Connor up out of here. We about to get pack his shit up. He out of here.
Yeah. We finna get him up out of here. Yeah.
So overall, what y'all think about the episode?
I think it was
On a
pretty
scale
good.
of 1 to 10.
Solid.
I'll give it an 8.
I think it was a good setup episode. I mean, I'm not gonna. I mean, the episode was all right, but it definitely set us up. Like you definitely see. I just think it was a good alley oop episode.
Yeah.
Facts, Keymon. Jeffrey clean up the mess. Clean up, man.
I say
I
a
definitely think it was
7.
a clean up episode. Do we know how many episodes we getting for the season?
10.
10, I think.
10. Okay, cool.
Hey, let me say this real quick. I think they missed the opportunity here in this episode. And, just like last time we was talking about this, I like how they always go back to the original show and pull little tidbits from there. When they had the party, they should have had Belle Biv DeVoe playing the songs playing, either them there performing or just the music in the background. And I think they missed the opportunity there because
that was
when they threw that party back in the
I
original
would
show.
like to see them there performing after all these years.
They
I
would
would
shoot a
love
little
that.
video or whatever. So
Yeah, that would have been dope.
Yeah.
Poison would have been a perfect song for that shit.
It really would have been.
Yeah.
It really would have
that
been.
that is correct.
Yeah.
That's a good one, Wise. That's a good one.
But overall, we'll see. It depends on how next week plays out. But the setup is something's going down, and we about to find out.
It's
We're
coming.
about to find out next week. Yeah.
It's coming.
Carlton, Viv, Uncle Phil, it's gonna move fast. I think the last few episodes, personally.
Yeah, I think so. I'm with you. I think these next 3 episodes is gonna be like boom, 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 boom. I think a lot. Yeah, I think it's definitely about to go down.
And what do you think we're gonna get for a cliffhanger though? I think the cliffhanger is gonna be Will's business coming out, and how is that gonna affect Uncle Phil's campaign? That's my prediction for the cliffhanger.
I think the cliffhanger is gonna be the election. Who won?
Yeah.
I think we're not gonna find out who won until next season, but I think that's gonna be the cliffhanger. It's gonna come down to the wire. It's gonna probably be a tie. You know what I mean? It's gonna be one of those real dramatic. But I think that's how they're gonna leave us hanging for next season is who actually won the election.
Yeah.
Someone had with Carlton and those meds or something.
That's what I was thinking too. He gonna
hit his breaking point. Like
yeah.
he hasn't experienced his low yet. You
I
know,
thought that's what was gonna happen last week. He snorted too much, and he was gonna have to go to
he getting there. But he hasn't experienced his low yet to the point where they feel as though they need to get him some help, some rehab or something like that. I think the key. The Quaalude, you love me in the morning. He haven't really experienced his low yet, so I think that's gonna be the cliffhanger. He's gonna hit rock bottom to the point where he got nothing else. If he don't damn near try to commit suicide,
shit, he finna now. They don't fuck. Yeah, man, he done for.
That's what I'm saying. Like that's if he don't damn near commit suicide.
He finna go.
He don't have his lacrosse team no more. He don't like I'm just saying he probably gonna hit rock bottom.
Yeah. What's the day already say gonna get a snowstorm going, so he finna go play in the snow real quick.
Oh yeah, he definitely about to do some ski slopes.
Yeah. He go skiing real quick.
Everybody do some solos.
All right, y'all. So we'll be back next week.
Drugs with him.
You think Aisha gonna do drugs with him? Nah, she gonna fix him. She gonna fix him. He need a woman.
She already said the drugs that you do, so I don't think she gonna do that.
Nah, he need a woman that's like gonna be patient with him. She gonna fix him. Yeah. She gonna fix him. All right, guys. Well, thanks for hanging out with us on this good Thursday night, this late Thursday night. We appreciate y'all. We enjoy y'all. We really love this chat. I love this energy in this chat. They need to come on every show. I love them. Thank you so much for tuning in. Please like, comment, subscribe, share. And we got to get caught up on Power this week. You know, we've been kind of busy this week. I've been out of town traveling this week, so we got to get caught up on those of you who are interested in Book 4 Force. We have our own issues with it, but we got to get caught up on that. But so we'll be back maybe this weekend and try to get caught up on that. And we'll see y'all next week for Bel-Air.
We out of here.
We up out of here.